My next speaker is Commission Independent of the Human Rights. You have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, on behalf of the Independent Commission for Human Rights in Northern Africa and the Global Coalition for Limitation of Armament, we deliver this statement. The impact of arms transfer on the enjoyment of human rights is a complex and controversial issue. There is no doubt that arms transfer can be used to violate human rights, such as when they are used to commit war crime or crime against humanity. The following are some of the ways in which arms transfer can affect the enjoyment of human rights. Arms transfer can be used to commit human rights abuses. This is most likely to happen when arms are transferred to repressive regimes or groups that are known to violate human rights. Arms transfer can destabilize countries and regions. This can lead to increased violence and conflict, which can be turned and lead to human rights abuses. The transfer of arms to non-state armed groups in Africa has a number of negative impacts, including, first, fueling conflict. Arms transfer can fuel conflict by providing non-state armed groups with the means to wage war. This is particularly the case in countries where there is a history of instability or there are competing political or economic interests. For example, is well seen in the Sahara and Sahel region and Northern Africa, where armed groups are destabilizing countries in Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, and also in Libya. Second, increasing human rights abuses arms transfer can also lead to increased human rights abuses by non-state armed groups. This is because of non-state armed groups often have no qualm about using force to achieve their goals, and they may be less likely to respect the right of civilians when they are well armed. Third, destabilizing government. Arms transfer can also destabilize government by making it easier for non-state armed groups to overthrow them. This is particular concern in countries where the government is weak or failure country. Madam President, the arms trade fuel conflict, kill civilians and displace people. Other by supporting terrorist groups, making peace more difficult. The humanitarian and development implications of arms trade are undeniable. Today, recent violation and statistics highlight the urgent need to collective action to curb such trade, promote peace, and allocate resources for sustainable development. Therefore, CIDH Africa and the Global Coalition call for: first one, increase transparency in the arms trade. Second, accountability of arms dealers for their actions. Arms dealers who violate international law must be held accountable. Third, we urge that the preparatory meeting for the Arms Trade Treaty be continued, as it is an opportunity for states to build consensus on the treaty implementation and enforcement. ATT will be effective only if properly implemented and enforced. The preparatory meeting is an opportunity for states to discuss, enforce, and agree on mechanisms to be used for the implementation of the treaty, and the opportunity for states to build support for the treaty. It is important that states build support for the treaty in order to ensure its adoption and implementation. We need to take actions to implement this recommendation and to protect innocent lives. I thank you, Madam President.